Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Ali, and welcome to the real story on ZMC Network. I hope you're all calmed down from yesterday's, celebrations and ecstaticness. So we are into the final, first time in over 50 years. So fingers crossed we can get over the line. As always, I'm going to just go through the latest COVID dashboard figures before I introduce my today's guest and my today's topic as well. So in terms of where we are, so we have had an increase of 615 of positive cases compared to the week previous. So we have now 3,116 cases compared to the previous week of 2,502. 95% of these are now derived and accelerated because of the Delta variant, otherwise known as the Indian variant. And what does that mean per 100,000 population? It is 302.9 for this week in terms of positive cases compared to 219 for the week previous. In terms of those areas which have the highest number of positive cases are thus, please. So listen to those areas, starting with Selly Park, which has 537 cases, followed by Ladywood, 377, Perry Bar, which has 373, Hall Green, which has 363, Sheldon, which has 362, Ward End, which has 343, and then Glebe Farm, which has 329. We have now a staggering 47 million people that have been vaccinated with the first dose, and about 29 million people that have been vaccinated with the double dose. And as a result of the excellent vaccination program that the NHS has been rolling out, that is why we are not seeing the net number of deaths and admissions into secondary care as well. So where we are at the moment, we've got a number of local mobile vaccination units taking place. The one on Monday the 12th from 9:30 to 3:30 is taking place at Small Heath Wellbeing Centre. On the same day, Monday the 12th of July, in Alum Rock at the Solely Adult Education Centre on the Anthony Road. That's also taking place between 9:30 and 3:30. On Tuesday the 13th, the mobile vaccination unit is going to Ward End and at the Ward End Library, and that's taking place between 9:30 and 3:30. Then on the 11th of July, it is taking place at the Christian Church Bromford Bridge in Hodge Hill, and then on the 16th, which is next Friday, there is one at the Al Quran Mosque in Alum Rock between the hours of 1 to 5 p.m. And then on the 20th of July, there's one taking place on Eid Day, actually, which is at the Ward End Library again once more, and the final one on the 21st of July is back in Hodge Hill at the Christian Church Bromford Bridge, and with these you can walk in appointment, and it's for anyone that is over 18, and it is a Pfizer vaccine that is going to be administered as well. So without further ado, today we are going to be talking about the Euro 2020s, but also the lack of Asian female representation in sport, but in particular football. So today I welcome Farzana, better known as Faz, and also Dee to help me talk about this show. Real warm welcome to both of you.
Hello. Hi.
Hello there. How are you? Okay.
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. So before we even talk about obviously the lack of Asian females, in particular Pakistani and Muslims, let's talk about what's the current and how the whole lot of the country is now euphoric, absolutely excited and ecstatic to have our first final for more than 50 years. What's your thoughts? How has the whole European final been for you, and what are your thoughts about England reaching their first final?
So this one's for me, Dee. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's a massive achievement. It's been always that we've obviously been knocked out in the quarterfinals at the highest stage sort of thing. So it's a case of getting further and further with such a young, mixed, diverse team is an achievement in itself. And I think what Gareth Southgate's done is absolutely amazing. And I'm so proud of all of them, especially the likes of Raheem Sterling and all of them, just what they've achieved. And hopefully they will go on to Sunday's final and actually win as well. That's my hope.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed, really. So I'll be there with my takeaway about pizza and cheering the boys on, really, on Sunday. But before we even get to that, you know what? I must confess, previously, whenever England were playing, I always wanted them to lose. But you know what? This tournament, that's my confessions. I hope I don't get lynched for it. But you know what? This tournament feels different. I want them to win. I'm there wearing my England shirt. I'm there with my England flag. I feel patriotic. I want England. I feel part of the setup. I feel part of the team. I don't know. Why do you think that's different this time around, Faz?
I personally think having an English manager like Gareth Southgate, somebody who's been a former player for England, makes a massive difference. When we had Sven-Göran Eriksson and the likes of the foreign managers as well, or just some of the older managers, it just wasn't the same feel of the team. There wasn't that.
They couldn't get the team to gel.
Yeah, gel and boost of energy. I just felt it wasn't great football to watch, in all honesty. So, to be honest, Mr. Ali, I was with you in terms of not necessarily. To be honest, I was neutral. I didn't really want them to win, or I didn't really care, to be honest. Just see how well they get in the tournament. But
I think because of their previous reputation, even I was a bit put off watching them. But when I heard that they got to the final, I actually watched my first match yesterday, and I thoroughly enjoyed it because they've got that.
So you may be the lucky omen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you make sure you're there watching it on Sunday.
Yeah, they could sense it.
Yeah. No, just sorry. And in terms of how things are with the whole sort of country, whether you're working class, whether you're women, whether you're someone from the BAME community, everyone seems to be now part of this journey. And what do you put that? I mean, you mentioned obviously England, but also do you feel as though the players are a lot more approachable and they're part of this journey?
I think they're a lot more humble, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hear the post-match commentary, you hear a lot more kind of, it's about the team rather than, individuals. And it shows, it echoes in terms of what Gareth sort of said, as well as the individual players. And, they're taking one step at a time and they're not running before they can walk, which is great because I think in the past there has been that almost element of ego with the English side where, to be honest, a lot of the time they thought themselves better than they actually were, in all honesty. So I think now they've kind of humbled themselves, grounded themselves. I think they're performing better because they're actually showing it on the pitch rather than all pre-match talk.
And for people outside of football, the diversity in the group has brought people outside of football together as well. We've united them.
You know what? I think football has transcended, all barriers and boundaries. I think it's brought the whole country together. Obviously we've had Brexit, we've had the pandemic. Everyone's been isolating and shielding and not being able to mix, and people have lost their jobs, lost their loved ones as well. And you know what? This is what the country needed. A team, a hope, something that would really gel the whole country. And I think the timing is just about right, just about when we are about to, see Freedom Day, so to speak. And I'm sort of really, patriotic at the moment, and my motivation is really high. What do you think is going to happen on them? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, a common cause and something to, have street parties over after if we win.
Now that you're able to socialise anyway.
Yeah.
And I think there should be a national holiday, hopefully when we win. And irrespective as well. I think irrespective as well, I think maybe if Boris Johnson gets his act together, maybe that Monday, or there may be a tour of the bus. You have that sort of celebration. Maybe we should have definitely something in the diary where we're all just have a barbecue and just get together. So just my idea. But in terms of the player of the tournament so far, people have sort of said Raheem Sterling has had an amazing tournament. Is there anyone else from the England team that has really stood out for you?
Kane, I'll say. Kane's done quite well.
Kane's done his usual self, yeah.
Yeah.
D reckons Kane. I'd say Maguire, the defence line in itself, because I mean they only conceded 1 goal yesterday. That shows a lot as well. So yeah, I think even Pickford. So there's quite a few players that have done really well.
They need to be on the game for Sunday because I think they were a bit lucky in this last game.
Yeah, that penalty was
and the own goal.
Yeah, I think it was a soft penalty. I would agree.
Yeah, I'm making it real. I'm bringing it real.
Yeah. I think what's happened is I think we've learned from our European friends that how to manage the game and do a bit of gamesmanship. So it'd be interesting on Italy because when they want to, you need to do is breathe on them and they fall over. So it'd be interesting to see what happens on Sunday. But they've been my team of the tournament, really, Italy. The way they've really hunted the ball down, the way they sort of done it in a real team sort of environment, and they've been quite nice to watch as well. I quite like their little striker, the one who scored on Tuesday, Chiese, the young little chap, and he's a real sort of. He doesn't give you a moment's rest, so I think he's one to watch. And then obviously you've got the old stalwart Chiellini in the back, applauding and giving it 100%, putting his body in the line at every shot. So it is going to be a tough game, isn't it?
Yep.
It will be. I mean, they did okay against the Danish, the Denmark players. There were some pretty hefty-looking defenders in that team, like literally solid walls. But I think they need to definitely up their game without a doubt, Miss Ali. I think they got lucky with this win in some respects because they weren't clinical. They've got to be literally clinical and at the top of their performance. So any other performance against Germany doesn't count unless they bring their A game on Sunday.
I fully agree. And the Italians, they know how to get the result. They're used to playing in semi-finals and finals in big tournaments. They're used to winning. Whereas England is a very relatively young team. This whole new experience is new to them, playing in front of a home audience, full-packed stadium. And they've got one less day of recovery as well. So it's going to take an amazing by the England players to get over the final and lift that tournament. And you know what? We'll certainly be cheering them on, won't we?
Yeah.
But I think being at home might boost their confidence.
Yeah. I think the Wembley Stadium definitely will, as Dee's just said. I think being at Wembley is a massive difference. I know from events that I've attended with the Birmingham crowds even, they're amazing. The British fans are amazing. Yeah. Sometimes hooligans as well, but that's one of the small minority.
Yeah. Did you see? I think it's more Zach really. Dee. I don't know. Have you met a girl called Zach? Oh, she's a real light wire. She is. So wouldn't want her to be anywhere near me when she's celebrating and watching the game.
No.
No. Did you watch that individual who got on top of a taxi a couple of days? Was it on Sunday or something in Birmingham? And the taxi driver got out and just pulled him off by his ankles. So I did say that. I did say that.
You sent us that video, please.
Yeah, it was actually on the Birmingham. So just watch it on the Birmingham Mail online. So do look out for it. Just going to go to some of the comments that are coming through. Salam Ali Saab and my lovely sisters. Farzana and Dee are trendsetters, very passionate and dedicated. We salute you. Keep up the good work. You seem to be getting a fan club of your own. Come on, England, it's coming home. Yeah, I'm getting a bit jealous. Yes, I am actually. Will we get an extra national holiday or bank holiday if England win the Euros on Sunday? It all depends on Boris Johnson. Knowing him, he will, just to sort of get a bit
No.
more publicity, I think, and positive note. We have won the Football World Cup, rugby and cricket. The Euros will be the icing on the cake. Well said. So fair play on that. So we're just going to sort of extend the conversation now. Just want to know, it's nice to actually see some young Asian, Pakistani, Muslim females really get into sport and football in particular. Where did your love of football sort of, transcend, or did it first start? Starting with you, D.
I started playing at school. I
Oh, wow.
used to be called Mrs. Ronaldo. I don't know why. And from there, I had a little bit of a break until I went to college. And that's when I joined a proper league, and we competed, and it's just gone from there. A couple of years later, I met Paz at Bowes Green Girls School, and it's just lifted up from there, my whole career.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You sure you didn't call yourself Miss Ronaldo?
No, it's definitely the spectators.
It was Mrs.
Oh,
Mrs.
okay.
Ronaldo,
Yeah,
married to him.
Oh, yeah, Mrs. Ronaldo. Yeah, no,
yeah. Most
absolutely.
people just said Messi, but
Yeah, no, absolutely. And where do you tend to play? Do you do a particular position or?
I started off at defense. I'm starting to move up. Depending on where I play, sometimes they place me up as striker.
Oh,
So
wow.
they've got the confidence in me. But I'm a bit short and nippy, and sometimes they call me the rat. I get around everybody. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, go
and
on.
Faz, what about you?
I started playing when I was really young, like 4 or 5 years old, and my
Oh,
older
wow.
brother's actually the one who's got me involved. I mentioned previously that we're all, my brother, my dad, and myself all support different London clubs, and it's just grown ever since. Played at school, played, in after school clubs sort of thing. So yeah, Ballsy Green Girls School is where I met Dee, and Dee is amazing to play with, and so is Zakia as well. But
Mhm.
all the girls there are absolutely fantastic, and it's like a home from home. And playing with these guys, it's always like family. So we've been playing for over 10 years, and the passions always
Oh,
grew.
wow.
So watching football, very much my older brother and my dad's influence, but certainly playing has been a combination of family and the great sisters in
Friends,
our
yeah.
community.
Sure. So, Faz, it sort of sounds that you were brought up in London. I don't know whether you were born in Birmingham.
I was born in
Yeah.
Stoke-on-Trent, but I'm not going to support a racist club. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anyone who's a Stoke supporter, but I don't believe in that supporting the team where your local team. Actually, I do support Birmingham City over Aston Villa if that counts for anything.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's not,
It doesn't
I'm not.
count for anything.
I'm not the one to talk. I'm not the one to talk. I support Liverpool, never been to
Oh,
Liverpool in my life. But I want to sort of talk. Obviously, now that you know what it's like, and the makeup is a large Mirpuri community. We're very conservative generally, but especially when it comes to our daughters and our sisters. So, in terms of the uptake of sport, we don't really past sort of secondary school. Even at secondary school, we do frown on it, and it's about time changed. How can we change that sort of that misconception and sort of allow and the freedom to our younger females to sort of let them active and enjoy sport, and if they want to take post sort of 16 post school, give them the trust and the encouragement to take it up even on a semi-professional level or professional level, if that's something that they're able to willing to do. What's your thoughts?
I think we need to boost our children's confidence, because we might find that there's areas that they're confident in, and sports might be one of them. Over the years, we've had growing numbers of groups coming around local communities that are focused mainly on females. So there's no reason for us to now take our children away and say you can't do this when there's facilities available for them. such as the
Yeah.
Wolves Green Girls School.
Yeah, I mean, just to sort of share with you my experience, Lee, I run also a world-renowned, a famous football academy here in Alum Rock called Jabs B8FC, and we had a successful girls' football team, and we were playing indoors at Rockwood Academy on Naseby Road, and we were doing well. And unfortunately, when they did their refurbishment, they closed all the facilities to us. And then obviously we all moved to Warden Park and we were playing outside, and the girls just wouldn't, nor the parents would allow us to let them play and practice in an outdoor setting with obviously people being able to sort of see them running around. So I think there is obviously the image about their body image, their confidence of sort of playing outdoor public setting, whereas they were perfectly fine within a sort of a private secluded area. I don't know how we can sort of again overcome these sort of things, because it's all very well sort of playing them at some point, if they are sort of wanting to take it up more seriously or sort of maybe playing outside, you will see people passing by or sort of looking, but sometimes the parents or the individual doesn't have that confidence. What are your thoughts? How do we overcome some of these challenges and barriers?
Well, some of those barriers have already been overcome by organisations like Saheli Hub, who actually operate from Warden Park, and they do the cycling
Yeah.
for the women. And actually, because of the the ladies cycling around every Saturday around the park, there's actually been interest from the older gentlemen in the area as well, just to obviously have cycling facilities for them. So so they're already there's groups out there that have already down these barriers. It's just gaining that confidence and reassuring some of the how can I put it, more hesitant females taking part. Just that this sort of stuff is becoming the new norm, because with facilities becoming expensive to hire, and especially the indoor facilities, it's naturally to keep the costs down or even free, which is ideal. Um, Organisations have to do something like this, and it's a case of it's a healthy body, a healthy mind.
Yeah. I think the
Absolutely.
more the groups grow, and the more people are involved, the word would get around, and from that, people would recognise these groups. I think at the moment they're too hidden, and so people don't know enough about them to trust these people with their children, their girls, whether the setting's going to be out in the open and things like that.
I'd say one other
Yeah,
thing
no.
is, I think one thing that does work, Miss Ali, is having activities for women by women. That is one of the definitely, the factors that certainly has encouraged a lot of women to participate in Saheli Hub activities, because literally the instructors are female. I'm a cycling instructor for Saheli, and I taught and showed women how to ride a bike around Warden Park. So I know from experience in Warden Park, what goes on. There are some people that sit around on the benches and, could end up watching. A lot of people just get on with their walks around the
Yeah.
park, the cricket session, etc. So it's not one of those ones where there's literally, how can I put it, inappropriate men watching.
And then the number of people there is similar to probably the number of people that you'd walk past if you were walking on the street. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, no,
Although
you're
more
right.
on Alamo.
Yeah, more on Alabama Road.
Yeah, yeah. The famous Oliver Road. Yeah, no, no, you're right. And in terms of, is there a sort of a girls' league or a sort of an Asian or a Muslim girls' league that if someone is interested to make that next step, they can join yourselves, or maybe you've also got BYSA girls. They're very successful over in the Saltley Leisure Centre. So is there something formally set up within Birmingham?
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. And then there's other leagues that like
Yeah, the
Power League as
Power
well.
League have a
There's
lot of a weekly league with
Okay.
girls of all age, but they
and
are
all abilities
all
as well.
abilities, age, size, abilities. That they're all joining together to make these teams and to play off each other, and the girls quite enjoy that.
The social league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and also the popularity of the girls' football league. So, the Liverpool ladies, the Arsenal ladies, and also the England national women's team are doing incredibly well. And I must say, the last time I saw some football for girls was about 3-4 years ago, and then this season I was watching them, and I must say, the technical skill that I've seen this time round, I was actually taken back. I couldn't quite see the difference between the male and the female sort of the game now, and I think it's really come on board. And do you see over the next few months, years, the talent that is there talent within our Asian and our Muslim women that is coming through that we can nurture, and hopefully maybe in the next few years we can see them playing for some of these professional teams or even the national team?
Yeah, inshallah, why not?
Yeah.
Because it's a case of, I think, as Zaki also said, where there's a passion, you need to actually just go for it, because at the end of the day, the only person who's really, really stopping you is yourself.
And the families just need to get behind them, motivate them, let them achieve as much as they can do in the sport of football.
Yeah, because it's better they go into something like this than into, and this is speaking for the women and the men of, the community, better than going into things like drugs and all the other kind of things that can really take you off track of life in general.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And do you still think there is institutional racism when it comes to not just people from a BAME community, but as a Asian Muslim female, you tick every box that a racist or your chances are going to be hindered. Is it mind over matter, or do you know that you have to try that 150%, and that determination and that willpower will take you to where you want to achieve? Or do you think there's like a glass ceiling that prevents young Pakistani or Muslim girls reaching and fulfilling their ambition?
I think it's a bit of both. I think you need to rise above it, because at the end of the day, ultimately, it's beneficial for you to push yourself and to get there and show the world your skill, rather than to be kept hidden from the world just because of the color that you are or the religion that you are.
Yeah, well
I
said.
think also
I'm all
that
for that.
I was going to say, Mr. Ali, I think with the with prayer, anything is possible, because you could have the entire world against you. If you've got God on your side, you don't need anyone else, so you can achieve practically anything. What you think is impossible, doors will open from anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, no, I was going to go back to some of the comments. Shall we have a match with the girls, 5-a-side award empire?
Shall we bring
Question
the
by
tissues,
what?
Mr.
Say
Ali?
again?
Shall we bring tissues for you, or shall we let the losing team bring them themselves?
If they're ready for an aspirin, yes.
Yeah, well, Javed, I think you've got your answer there. You're embarrassing me as well. And then he asked me, Ali, would you allow your daughter to play football? She was actually part of my JABS B8FC girls team when we were at Rockwood. So I have encouraged her from a young age. And we also have a sort of a boys team, and we were one player short for a sort of under 11s team. So I put her in goals. So she was a goalie, and she had a ball backed at her, and bless her, she made an amazing save. But she obviously dislocated or hurt her thumb, and since then, as soon as I mention football, she goes, "No,
No.
you've already injured me once. I'm not. I'm not going to go again." So bless her. Yeah, no, I know. I should have put her somewhere else, but bless her.
Yeah, you wanted to protect them
I'm
and
just,
put her in the worst situation.
yeah, I know. I'll put her in goal. Then she hasn't forgotten since. You must have so much courage. Uh, the challenge the Asian mentality regarding girls playing football, and I suppose to spit what Dee and Faz already said, that whatever the life's challenges or the barriers are there, you as an individual must also have that confidence and that resilience to overcome those and say, look, I am going to give it my 100%, and leave the rest to the Almighty, rather than always blaming the racism or whatever the other sort of obstacles that are in front of you. But anyway, we are sort of getting towards the end of the show now, Faz and Dee. Couple of things. I'm just going to give you sort of maybe a minute each, really, just to obviously let us know what you think is going to happen on Sunday. And secondly, also in terms of what your future hopes and aspirations are for young girls that are aspiring to be, sports people or football, as a professional career. What's your message out to them?
Well, for the game on Sunday, my predictions are 1-0 to Spain. Italy, sorry, to Italy. But that's only because
treason.
I know, but only because
She wants a pizza.
yeah, yeah, that's the dish I
From who? I'll buy you a pizza.
I want a pizza, not fish and chips.
Fair play.
But as for girls, I hope joining teams like ourselves can push them to feel that confidence to do what they want to do when it comes to football. If they have the skill, and we can push those skills and let them go as far as they can do.
Yeah, thank you, Faz.
And I think the score will be 2-1 to, I'm hoping it will be England. And I want Sterling to have probably both goals, but if not, one apiece between Kane and Sterling. I don't care who scores from Italy, to be honest, but as long as it's not an own goal. And in terms of women, yeah, exactly what Dee said. I think I think women need to continue looking for opportunities. If they don't know, ask. People do know. Especially in the, certain sports clubs will know of other sports clubs, even if they don't do exactly what, each other do. So they do, there's loads of opportunities out there. It's just a case of sometimes even Google searching, but certainly word of mouth and, ask around, because if you're not asking, then, you're not doing half your research.
Absolutely, well said, both of you, really. So this show and my platform is always open. If you want to share or if you want to come on any time, then please just do reach out to me, and I'll do my best to make that happen. And I can't really sum it up better than this particular guest, who says, my very best wishes to you, my dear sisters. May you succeed in all aspects of your life.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, nice way to finish up. You both of you take care, and I'll be with you, Faz, on Sunday. And Dee, we'll rub that pizza in your face on Monday, won't we?
On a bike.
on a bike, absolutely. You take care. Thank you for tuning in and sharing your experiences. That's the lovely Dee and Faz, who are good sport and have again come on my platform on the Real Story on ZMC Network to tell you what their predictions are, not only for Sunday, but also what their hopes and aspirations are for young aspiring women, in Asian women, BAME women within sports. Until next week, please look after yourselves and good luck to England on Sunday. It's coming home.